This past week, we've been looking at different situations where we wanted to find a solution that satisfies two different conditions or some conditions about a situation. For example, we looked at the rate of which two trees grew given that they started at different starting points. And we wanted to know when the two trees were the same height. So we did that by graphing the situation. However, that was a problem because our answer was a fraction. And it's hard to get a precise answer, especially if the fraction is a long decimal fraction. All right. The other case is if I'm looking at a table. I could do that. I could just go through my table. But that became tedious as well because you had to go pretty far down the table to find the solution. So what we're going to do today is we're going to ask algebra for a little bit of help. We've represented a situation using two equations. And whenever you're given two or more equations, we call that a system of equations. That's just a way of describing the fact that I have two or more equations. All right, so in order to solve that system of equations, like I said, in the past we might have graphed that. All right, but we're going to go ahead and use algebra this time. So what algebra says is, hey, y equals this and y equals this. If y equals both of them, then they must both equal each other. So in other words, I can rewrite this like that. Since they both equal the same thing, they must both equal each other, hence the name equal values method. So we're going to go and just solve this using what we know from the past. We want to get our x's on one side. I'm choosing to put them on this side. It doesn't matter. It's because I don't want to deal with negative numbers right away. So this is 2x plus 3. And then I'm going to put my numbers on the other side. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So I've got 10 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. And x equals 5. And if I was talking about time, I'd say 5 minutes or whatever the situation is. I don't have context here, so I'm just going to leave it as 5. Now, the whole point of this is saying, hey, when I plug in 5, I'm going to get the same y value here. Let's go ahead and just pick one and see what y value pops out. I'm going to pick the first one. So 2 times 5 plus 13 is going to give us 10 plus 13, so y equals 23. All right, so what should happen is if I plug y into the bottom one, I should also get 23. So we're going to just talk through that one. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 is, hey, it's 23. And again, if this were a situation and 23 represented the height of something, then I would say 23 feet or 23 inches or whatever that unit of measurement is. So that's how we solve it. And you could always just double check. If you plug these into both of them, they'll come out. And we kind of did that. All right.